And that looks like it's recording. Yep, the record button's on. Okay. Hi, welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about, I wanted to just introduce everybody to LiveText and how it's going to look when you submit your edTPA to LiveText. And then we'll talk about what it looks like to register for the edTPA on the edTPA website. So those are the two things we're going to cover. It shouldn't take too long. And so let me make sure that my screen is shared. Can everybody see the LiveText homepage?
Yes.
Okay. And so from here, this is the page that we'll always start on. You'll hit log in, and I need to cheat here for a moment. Everybody should have their usernames and passwords for the LiveText. And I'll put this in here. And so I'm putting in we've got one just for training purposes here. So I can show you what it's going to look like. So you will log in and get a screen that looks like this. And what you want to do first is just double check. I know we've been really trying to be on a roll and quickly get everything up and going for you. So you'll want to double check that the edTPA and then what you're classified as is really what you're classified as. And for this demo, it's elementary education. But if you're doing secondary science, then you'd want that to say secondary science. If you're doing special ed, you'd want that to say special education. And that's really important that it matches, and you'll want to do that before, as soon as possible, because the requirements are different for the different ones, and you will talk about how to register for the edTPA, but you need to make sure that the edTPA and LiveText talk to each other well. So what I'm going to do from here, so I've double checked. The other things to note, Windows Explorer does not do well with LiveText. So they do not recommend that, but Firefox, they say Safari works fine. So you'll want to make sure you're not using Windows Explorer, or if you are and run into any technical difficulties, that you try another browser. Then I'm going to hit here where it says continue assignment. And from here, what you'll see is that you have some optional resources, and if you hit on those, here's the handbook. So this is really nice. No matter where you are, if you are in a coffee shop and you think, oh, or you're borrowing your brother's computer, whatever it might be, you can always access the handbook as well as all the templates right here under additional resources. So that's really helpful. Let's see. And so, let's see. Do I just press hide to go back? Or under, I'll just go back to my courses. I'm probably not doing necessarily this the easiest way, but at least you can kind of see how to navigate within the system. So again, elementary education, I'm going to continue my assignment. I looked at the additional resources. And then I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to scroll down to the assignment submission. Oh. So I'm using a computer that's not mine. There we go, yay. So you can see that here I can add attachments. I can also upload things. What's one nice thing about LiveText is that it has this file manager. And you can see file manager up here as one of your tabs as well. And here we'll have all of your documents, and it's a lot like Box or several other file managers. So it will keep everything there for you. It's kind of like your own little cloud. And so I can do a couple different things from here. I can upload from here, or anything that I upload under an individual assignment will go up here and I'll always have access to it. So that's the other nice thing about this, is that you'll always have access to those documents. So again, here's one place to kind of, you know, do those types of things. So I could upload a file or image and browse my computer here. And so here's my Part A. And I'll upload it. There it goes. Okay, so now you can see, and I would really encourage you to think thoughtfully about the names that you use. I put my last name, so I put Braun-Monegan, Part A, Literacy, Context for Learning, Information, ... So it's kind of a long title, but I wanted it to be very clear, especially as you upload it, and then if later your professors download it, I think having your name in there is critical, as well as a very clear indication of what the task is. And I was using the same names that the edTPA does from the handbook. So that's one way that you can upload documents, would be here under the file manager. Again, if I'm going within my course, and the edTPA will be a course on there for you, I can also upload documents that way. And I'm going to show you how to do that. This is probably going to be one way that you use quite often. What's nice about this is that, okay, let me continue my assignment. And again, I just learned this last week, so I might not be doing it in the most efficient manner, but at least you get to see all the different clicks and what the different aspects look like. So the button that you're really going to want to focus on is this one here that says send your work to edTPA. A copy will be sent to your instructor. This one over here, send to instructor only, you do not want to do that because you need to submit to Pearson. This button is for endorsement onlys that are going to be locally scored, but that doesn't apply, I don't believe, to anybody on the call. So we're going to click here. Now what's nice about this is that here's another way for you to upload your files, or this is where you're going to upload your files. But what's really nice about here is that you get to see exactly what documents you need to upload. So this is a really handy way of thinking, okay, what am I going to need to, what do I need to upload? Under task 1, there's Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D, Part E. So if you're an elementary person, it would be your literacy context, your lesson plans, your instructional materials, your assessments, and your planning commentary. And that should all line up with your handbooks, and you all should have that at the beginning. These are the same numbers. I was going to pull one out, but then I realized I'm sharing my screen. I don't think you can see me. But those will all line up with those table of contents and exactly what you need to submit where. So here, I'm going to choose a file, and here's that task that I just uploaded. And you can see Braun-Monegan edTPA Elementary Task 1. Oh, that's actually a different one. So now I need to see where the one I just uploaded was. So let me go to choose a file. Let's see. So from here, so I hit choose a file.
You have to upload the last one.
So I thought I uploaded the one last time. So you'll upload, so I guess the one I just did might not have quite uploaded. So we'll try that again. I also have a sample video to upload as well that I can show you. So again, to upload, you go under File Manager. Okay, it's there. So I'll have to see why it's there or not.
I noticed when you were uploading that there was a limitation on the file size, said 1 gigabyte, but my videos are bigger than that.
Well, that's going to be, so edTPA doesn't allow more than 500 let's see,
Megabytes.
megabytes. So this is actually much larger. So you'll have to condense your video files.
Scott,
Yeah.
come find me at some point. I can help you with that process.
Okay.
But that's
Okay.
an
Good.
excellent point because the edTPA wants your videos to be about 300 and they have a maximum of 500.
Okay.
So most of them will have to be condensed.
Okay.
Welcome, Yasi. Just to let you know.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know I'm recording this. So if you don't want to be recorded, you can just turn off your video.
Okay. How do I do that?
Yeah. Oh, you did it just there for a quick second, just because I'm going to post it since there aren't very many people that were able to make it at this time.
Okay. Let's see
And,
here.
you know, so I'm just letting everybody know as they go. So excellent question. Thank you so much, Scott, because that's a key part of the edTPA. So if we look here, and I can upload another file, and then we'll see if it's ready for us. So here's a video. And you can see the file type there. And that'll take a minute. And so I'll upload all of these to the file manager. And again, I would include your name. We want to make sure that whatever file naming system you use is really clear, because you're going to have a lot of files to upload.
Can I ask one more question?
Please, please.
The lesson plans. I have 4 lesson plans, and they're all individual files. Will I be able to load 4 different lesson plan files, or are those going to have to be put into one document?
I think they might have to be one document.
So I used the format that James gave us last year, filled it all out. I guess,
Right.
Are those, I don't know how to merge those all into one file. I haven't attempted it yet, but.
Yeah, most cases, edTPA itself only gives you one link per, like, let's say,
Per file.
it'll give you one link. There are a couple different kinds of options for merging them all. I mean, the simple one would be, like, if it's all in Word, for example, just copy and paste pages.
Yeah, I'll check that. I think that's what I got.
That one, the only drawback with that one is your formatting may get messed up.
Oh, okay.
So I would try that one first. If it doesn't work, there are other options.
Okay.
For example,
Are you there tomorrow, Jesse?
and actually merge pages and like build a PDF. Or another third option might be to actually print them all your individual lesson plans, and then then scan them all into a single document that way.
Okay.
So there are some options, and yeah, I'd be happy to help.
Okay. I'm sorry, I meant to ask, are you there on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. I might come by Wednesday and see you.
Oh, this one, the only drawback is this Wednesday we're only open till noon.
You won't be there till noon?
The old campus is only open till noon.
Oh, it's only open till noon. Okay. I'll try to get in there sooner than that then.
Cool.
Thanks.
Sure.
Okay. So let me see if that works.
Attached there.
So, okay. So then we upload it to our file manager under the file manager tab. Then we're going to attach it to this assignment under attach here. And then you can see that I've got the video I just uploaded, as well as another document, and I can attach. And so that's how I would attach from here if I was using my file manager, but also from here I can attach and just upload directly. So here I'm gonna browse my computer so I can upload from here. I think I just saved it on my desktop here, my part B. You can see that I'm just opening and attaching like you would do normally. So attach resources to assignment. Again, I can use the file manager or I can upload. You won't be using any LiveText documents. So these are the 2 tabs you want, or the 2 buttons that you'll look at. So you look at file manager or upload. I've got that uploaded, so I'm going to attach. And then again, from here, we're going to send your work to the edTPA. A copy will be sent to your instructor. That's what we're going to want to select. And you'll see as I start to work on everything, I will choose the file. So I've got part A, context for learning. I come down here, part A, context for learning. Part B, the lesson plan segment. I'm going to upload it. And you can see here that you do only get that one slot.
Okay.
Here's the video clip. Here's my movie. And I'll just keep going through until all of these are submitted. You can see that this is a nice kind of organizer because it will show you exactly what documents you need to do. Down here, you'll see, please enter your edTPA authorization key to proceed with the edTPA submission. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do next. You'll acknowledge it. You'll enter your key. From here, once you've uploaded all the documents you have, which is all up here, and you can see exactly that it has it written out. So here's Part D evaluation criteria. You'll upload that. And there's the mathematics for elementary as well as the other. And you'll double check, right, and make sure you've got everything just the way you want it before you come down here to submit it and enter your authorization key. You can see that you can save and close or send to the edTPA. Today, for example, I just got a couple done, but some good ones. I'm feeling good about myself. I've got those uploaded, so I'm just going to save and close, but I'm not ready to send it to the edTPA. And then my progress has been saved. I have to complete it. Now, here's the good news, is that everything will get sent from LiveText to the edTPA, but then you have to go back on and log into the edTPA, and you get one more final check before you submit on the edTPA website. Okay, so that's kind of a nice, it's kind of a nice built-in double check for you. So any questions on uploading files? Again, you're going to use File Manager, or you can upload directly right here under Assignment Submission, and it attaches just like any other program to do it. Then you click here, send your work to the edTPA, and you'll just start lining up what documents meet which criteria. Then you come back and you're either, if you're completely all done, you'll acknowledge and enter in your authorization key and send it to the edTPA. If you're just working, you're going to save it.
I saw a task 4 up there.
That's only for elementary. If you're secondary,
Okay.
you got off easy and you only have 3 tasks.
Okay. Thank you.
Take a breath and go, whoo!
Yeah.
Thank goodness I'm not in elementary. No.
You also only have 5 templates instead of 9.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that. Now, let me show you. So any more questions about LiveText? Again, just livetext.com. You're going to be using something other than Internet Explorer. The key tabs are your courses, which will show up as edTPA. And then once you get into your course, you're going to go to your assignments, and you're going to work on your assignment here. And then from there, when you're working on your assignment, you're going to upload all of these. If you need to look at the handbook or the templates, you click here, and that'll give you your resources, and you have them all there. And so,
Janelle?
yes. Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
Where do I get the authorization key?
So that's the next piece. So the authorization piece, good transition. Is everybody okay with how to use LiveText?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the authorization key, we need to go to the edTPA's website. So we can just even search, right? If you search edTPA, you can see that's the very first thing that kind of comes up for me. Can everybody still see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. And what I'm going to want to do now from here is I'm going to register. And you can see that I've got this registration page, and I'm going to click register now. Now here's one of the things about this. If you have ever used Pearson before, you're going to want to, you have to use the same email address that you've used before. So that's a little tricky because sometimes people don't remember that, or they were an undergrad however many years ago, or whatever it might be. But you'll want, so that might take you a minute to find your original email address to Pearson. Then you can go through steps to change those things, but just so you know. That makes sense? So from here, when I go to register, I'm going to use an integrated edTPA platform provider. And so I'm going to click that one, and it's going to tell me what I need to do. So I need to register for the edTPA on this site, get my authorization key, complete my portfolio, and then use your authorization key to transfer your portfolio to the Pearson system. Okay. And then you log on to Pearson and you review and submit your portfolio. Okay? So just because in LiveText you've hit send to edTPA, you're not done. You have to go back to Pearson again. So here's where you need to remember your username and password. And I'm going to change my shared screen because I have PowerPoints so that I didn't have to give you all my social security number that I'm going to be posting on the web. Because I went through this and made a PowerPoint of what the screens look like. But since you had to enter personal information, I did not want to do that live, especially since I'm posting this. So here's my PowerPoint of when I did go through and looked at it. Hopefully you can see that there. Where were we? So here you'll use that username and your email address and password that you probably, most people have probably by this point in time done something in Pearson. So you'll want to use that. You'll have to confirm it. All of these regular login things, your personal information. And then with everything it does, it makes you verify that it's correct. So you'll have to hit this button. I've reviewed the personal information above and it's correct. And then you submit it. Again, your social security number, the last 5 digits, all of those things. Again, it's correct. You have to confirm that you are the person that you say you are. Now here's the tricky part. Well, not the tricky part, but a part that you should give some of your energy to. And this is the assessment selection. You want national. Even if you are planning to move to Washington next year, don't choose the Washington handbooks because your program is in Oregon. So you want the national handbooks, and this is where you want to make sure that your handbook that you select here matches what it says in LiveText, okay? And you can look it up, review your state's guidelines before selecting an assessment. You can look it up and make sure that you know for an Oregon what you would need to take. So here are all the certification areas and the handbook areas, and it'll let you look through all of that on that page. I just happened, because I needed to pick something to progress, I chose special education. Again, I said national. I did not choose special education Washington. You want special education national. And they've got a few every year that accidentally put the Washington one. And the Washington one you don't want because it has extra rubrics. So you really don't want that one. So you can see that I've got it here. I'm going to add it. It'll make you add. And then I can progress. Does that make sense? Next, you're going to select your university. We're going to take Pacific University. No, this is kind of detailed. And so now they're trying to ask even more questions depending on your area because they want to make sure they line you up. So you might be doing secondary math, but they want to know, are you doing geometry, are you doing calculus, so that they can line you up with an expert in that area. So some of those will have those questions in there. Here's the grade level of your classroom. And so it's going to start to ask you about the classroom you're in. School context. Are you in a rural classroom, a rural suburban, a suburban or urban, an urban? They don't have specific guidelines for these, so you're going to have to use what you know of the school and how you would characterize it. This is if you're using a language other than Spanish. And if you are not doing the World Languages Handbook and you're teaching, let's say you're teaching reading at a Japanese immersion school, you would have to translate what you're doing. Hopefully most of you will be doing your instruction in English or in Spanish, or if you're in special education, sign language. Those are all covered. But if you did happen to be instructing in another language than those languages, and again, you weren't trying to do your World Language Handbook, you would have to provide translation. But that shouldn't really apply to you. So again, here's some questions about you and your background, your ethnicity, your languages. Here's one that might be a little tricky. Background questions, reason for assessment. You want to check education preparation program requirement. In Oregon, TSBC made the edTPA a program completion requirement. It's not a licensure requirement, it's a program completion requirement. And why they did that is so that if teachers moved in from out of state, if it was a licensure requirement and a teacher who's been teaching for 20 years in another state but hasn't taken the edTPA, they would have to take that. So TSBC, for that reason, made it a program completion requirement. And so educational preparation program requirement is the button you're going to want to press there. Here's your highest education level, use of materials. Now for this one, we're recommending that you say, no, I do not give permission to use my edTPA submission for continued program improvement activities unless you have specific permission from all the parents to do that. It's probably easier and safer just at this point to say, no, that they're not going to use the materials you submit for improving their program. They're just going to use the materials you submit for you to get a score. Okay, again, here's some demographic questions. This is a lot like your context for learning, so hopefully you have this information about your school, or in this case, it's your classroom. Here's about your clinical experience, how many weeks, how many hours per week, and then I think there's one more here, and then you get to the next one. So you can see that it asks you several different questions. This is, of course, up to you. Do you want them to send you your report via email, those types of things. So we're almost done. Now it's going to ask you to look over everything that you said on all those previous pages, and you can add it to your cart. And you can see here I've added it to my cart. It is. I can check out and pay for it, which I didn't actually do since I'm not taking it. So I can't share with you what the next screen will look like because I didn't give them $300 just for fun. And so from there, once you submit and you pay the $300, then you'll get your access code. And then it's that access code that you'll want to make sure that you have and you keep in a very safe place, because that is what you will save to enter into that slot there on LiveText where it asks for your access code to submit the edTPA. Does that make sense?
I think so.
On the chat screen that says, do the clinical experience hours include the minor practicum that was done last year? Can you answer that one?
How much clinical experience / student teaching you complete in your program prior to completing the edTPA? You know, since they call it clinical experience or student teaching, I think it could include, that's an excellent question, Jennifer. I think that it could include their practicum experience.
And I would agree with you, and I believe that that includes a total of 18 weeks from a 3-week minor practicum and a 15-week student teaching placement for a total of 18 weeks.
Okay,
That sounds right to me too.
great. So you've got, okay, so that's 18 weeks. So you'll hit the 11 to 20. And then down here, it's the hours per week, which I think most people are doing their student teaching full time. So you'd probably be in here at that 31 to 40, somewhere in there.
Hey, Janelle,
Yes.
you have hours available this week at all to come in? I think I have all my files ready to go. It's just a matter now of uploading. Some of this is a bit confusing. Are you around there at any time? Do you have office hours or anything?
I do. They're on Wednesdays, which this week,
Wednesday?
they're usually at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays. But because this week is an odd week, we can definitely.
Yeah, I was going to come by, I guess, Wednesday morning and get with Jesse to.
Yeah, I think I'm.
Scott,
Yeah.
I can probably help you through the whole process.
Okay.
You're
Yeah, and then if you
breaking
have
up pretty
any
bad.
questions, we can definitely talk, and we can do something like this too, even if it's over the holiday, because I can always send you out a Zoom link and those sorts of things as well. Because I know we're on a pretty tight timeline, and then we've got holidays thrown in there as well, which doesn't help very much.
Okay.
Our work doesn't diminish with holidays, does it? In fact, it increases because now we've got to do all of our normal stuff and somehow bake a turkey. And in my case, a turkey and a ham, since my 4-year-old has it in her head that we should do both. And as in most places, you know, the 4-year-old run the list. I'm just kidding. Do you feel confident, though, Scott, about registering for the edTPA and at least being able to log on and start uploading files to LiveText? Nope, we might have lost him. Any other questions?
Janelle, will our group chat be available in the recording?
I'm going to stop my share here. And then, let's see. Let me see if I can, whoop.
I got kicked off.
Oh no. I promise it was unintentional. So let's see where the,
I'm just a minute, so whatever you said in the last one.
do you feel confident being able to log to register for the edTPA and log into LiveText and start uploading things?
I didn't get all that. It's breaking up pretty bad.
Okay. I was just trying to see if you felt comfortable so far, but if it's not, if you can't hear me, then I'm sure that when you meet with Jesse on Wednesday morning. So let's see, here's the chat, which I have been really busy doing other things and haven't been chatting since I've been this whole time. But I wanted to put the chat up so that everybody could see what was in the chat. I'll scroll back. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Can everybody see the chat on the screen?
I can.
Yep.
Okay, great. So I'll make sure that this is here. Okay, so in terms of, so hopefully everybody should have their LiveText account information. They've received that. The authorization key, that you'll get after you register for the edTPA. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jennifer. Excellent question. So yes, I think that they would include the minor practicum from last year. You know, since it says that it just asks you how many weeks, I think we can just count the total weeks. And then it does ask how many hours, although it's kind of hard because the number of hours per week changed. But this is just rough demographical data that they're gathering for their own kind of data mining collection purposes. So there's going to be, with all data collection, right, there's a little bit of static in there. So I think that that's okay. So we can say that we have 18 weeks, and that should be good. Okay. Great. So we should be good with that. Okay. So I hope that you're feeling a little more confident now about being able to at least start to navigate. You can see that LiveText is not that complex of a system. So hopefully that reduced some of your anxiety there. You upload documents just like, you know, most other programs. But you will, the tricky thing is that it looks like LiveText will allow you to upload larger documents than Pearson will in terms of those videos. And so you'll want to check yourself and make sure that you're under 500, closer to 3 for those videos. And if you need help with that, please feel free to reach out. Probably Jesse's a better contact than I am in that specific area. But there's lots of programs on the web.
Can I interrupt there just for a moment?
Yes, what?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think that the file manager will allow you to upload a file as large as 1 gig.
Right.
The edTPA submission section, while you're uploading your documents, I don't believe that system will allow you to go over the edTPA allowed file size.
Oh, great. Okay. That's wonderful to know. So hopefully we'll get that error on there. And then people would know to reduce their file. Thank you, Jennifer. Any other questions or comments for the good of the order?
Does it matter if we go to the ed? We need to start with the and then go. So I already have an account with the edTPA, and so I think I have most of that in there. But does the order matter?
Well, if you're going to submit through LiveText, did you click that you were going to submit through a different program provider, or did
I got as far as creating an account in edTPA, and I stopped where I wasn't sure, which was we need to use the integrated.
Okay.
Integrated choice.
Yeah. Right. So if you click use the integrated, What will happen is you'll get an authorization key, but then you'll upload all of your documents through LiveText. But thank you for asking that question in case there's anybody that starts watching this later who has already, you know, I know since we're kind of late in the semester, there may be some of you out there who have already registered for the edTPA and didn't click that, and maybe did already click that you were going to register directly to the edTPA. If that has happened to somebody, that's okay. You can submit directly to the edTPA, but we also ask you to submit it in LiveText so that we have a copy. And that, if that has happened to you, just send me an email. I'll connect with you, and we'll go from there. But if that's happened to somebody with maybe you registered for the edTPA and didn't click that through another program provider, that will be okay. You'll just have to upload your documents twice. You'll upload them once to the edTPA and once to LiveText, and we can work that out.
It might also be possible to change that setting after.
Yeah, we might be able to change it. Yeah, that's a good point, Jesse. We'll have to figure that, you know, if that has happened to you, don't panic. We'll figure out a way to work that out.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming this afternoon. I'm going to post this and send out the YouTube link, so everybody should have it. And for those of you who were here today, then you can always, quickly look back and see anything that we might have covered.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much, everybody. Okay, so I need this.